Welcome to the X Corner. I'm here adding that mutation to the SuperHeroCrew still. I'll be covering the X comics for the week of March 6th, 2019. This week we have 3 comics: Age of X-Men Prisoner X number 1, Domino Hotshots number 1, and Uncanny XMen number 13. Spoilers, of course. We'll start with Age of X-Men Prisoner X number 1, written by Vita Ayala and art by Germain Peralta. Bishop has been brought to the Danger Room prison complex run by Forge. He is to be rehabilitated for his affair with Jean Grey. He keeps having flashes of the real world, though. In prison he meets Gabby and Beast, who are real jerks. He also meets Lorna, who seems to be having the same flashes, but is a bit out of it. And also Danny Moonstar, who seems the most helpful. He also keeps hearing laughing and seeing people who aren't there. He's having nightmares of the X-Men's greatest villains, too. But when he wakes up, someone left a note saying that dream is real and reality is false, and to get out. So far this has been the best first issue of these minis yet. The art is great by Peralta with an almost painterly style. The story too leads us to want to know more, with the questions about what is going on and who's what laid out very nicely. There was very little action in the book outside Beast being an ass, but the story felt like it was going somewhere, unlike most of the other Age of X-Men stuff. Thank God. 8.5 out of 10. Then there's Domino Hotshots number 1, written by Gail Simone and arts by David Baldion. A meteor lands in the Antarctic and is found by some Korean scientists. One touches it and gets infected by the thing from another world. In Paris, meanwhile, Domino is approached by the Black Widow to lead a team to go get the artifact. Domino agrees to get it, and Black Widow tells her she's going too. Then they get approached by White Fox, who represents the South Koreans, and she joins up too. So the group is now Domino, Black Widow, White Fox, as well as Domino's friends Outlaw and Diamondback, and their new Wakandan princess, Atlas Bear. They get to Buenos Aires, where the scientists went with the artifact, and they have to meet them in a graveyard. The scientists want asylum and money to give the artifact to a country to study. They said it will boost their tech levels dramatically, and suddenly Black Widow, White Fox, and Atlas Bear want it for their countries. Before the issue can come to a head, though, the Argentinian police arrive, and the scientist who touched the item thinks they were setting him up. He goes all supervillain, and the team has to try and bring him down. They fail miserably. Outlaw gets infected by it, and the guy and the artifact get bored and fly off. To give that one last kick to the teeth, the team is then confronted by Deadpool, who says he is there to stop them. Thank God this mini is written by Gail Simone and art by David Baldion. There's a lot to love here, obviously. Baldion continues to be one of the best artists to draw modern women, and now he adds the ability to channel Kirby for some celestial action. The tone was spot on too. Domino fangirling all over Black Widow was cute, but she isn't stupid. She plans for the unknowns in the group, to betray them, and tells Outlaw to knock whomever starts something out the moment someone tries to turn on them. I love the mix of the spy genre with the old school Kirby superheroing, and I think this will be a fun ride. Deadpool getting a beatdown by the chicks next issue should be fun too. 8.5 out of 10, because Baldion always gets an extra 0.5. Lastly, we have Uncanny X-Men number 13, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Salvador Larroca. The new X-Men, Cyclops, Wolverine, Havoc, Magic, Wolfsbane, and the techno-organic infected Karma and Mirage are hiding out in their new base, the appropriately named Harry's Hideaway Bar. Cyclops tells the team they need a goal now that they're back together. The team is really down since they believe all the other X-Men are dead, and the world has cured mutantdom, so they have no future. Cyclops makes a list of X-Men-type problems they can focus on as a sort of farewell tour, or as Magic calls it, a suicide pack. And as Wolverine calls it, a kill list. The first target to warm up is Dark Beast. Magic teleports the team to one of his hideouts, where they're attacked by cyborg zombies. Turns out they're experimented on Multiple Man dupes. Multiple Man himself shows up, and Dark Beast tortured him to make the cyborg zombies. He reabsorbs a dying one to find out where Dark Beast is. The X-Men go to Dark Beast to attack, but it turns out when Mr. Sinister resurrected him, he made the Dark Beast a cyborg too, and now he's obsessed with technological evolution and experimentation. He's all cyborged up and is beating the X-Men when Magic teleports her sword behind him to defeat him. Jamie wants to kill him for what he's done to him and his dupes, but Cyclops takes him instead and locks him up in their basement, presumably next to the kegs for the bar. The team then sees on TV that they're being blamed for attacks on the anti-mutant vaccination sites, but it's the MLF, led by Banshee and Hope, who are doing it, much to the X-Men's surprise. I love the stripped-down feel to this team, not to mention they're just shy of Magneto joining for me to have my ultimate team. I love that Cyclops went back to the mansion to scrounge uniforms for them. So the New Mutants get their classic black and yellow, the Cyclops in his 90s gear, and Wolverine in the brown and tan. I only wish he had found Havoc's original costume, but instead we get his 2000s one. I wish there was a page with Cyclops going through all the old costumes, deciding on what everyone should be wearing in an 80s teen comedy montage. Laraka's art was great as always, and I love the X-Men in their regular clothes. They all look great, with lots of subtle acting going on. I do have a question how Danny Moonstar could be here and in Prisoner X, but maybe that's a clue that one of them isn't real. Or maybe Marvel editors still suck. I wish this X team could get the time to grow like we used to get in the Claremont era, but I'll take what we can get here. 8.5 out of 10 again! What a great week. Uncanny was exactly what I want my X-Men to be. We get character stuff and an action piece. Hotshots was better than I could have hoped, and Prisoner X was way better than I could have hoped. Next week we get the Winter's End Iceman story, continuing from the last Iceman run I didn't like. So I think my high right now won't be lasting. But until then I'm going to ride these feelings into the weekend at least. See you next time.